Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. We are doing a reaction video today, looking at things you have tagged me on over on Instagram, TikTok, somewhere else, or sent me in messages. Please do consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, follow me on my social media, so if you see anything kind of questionable in the world of beauty, then you can go ahead and tag me or send it to me in a message. And as I always like to say in these videos, creativity and individuality have no rules, but makeup has a theory, and that's what we are looking at today in these videos. Let's just do it. Let's dive straight in. Subscribe, comment. Okay, first up we have a 20s versus 35 plus. I need to talk about this afterwards. Concealer hack, I guess. Let's go. Okay, so 20s, that's how you should it. You shouldn't even do that in your 20s. 35 plus. Oh, I just realized what this is. Okay. That nasty cream makeup they use. Ugh. So this is obviously from a Saint rep who is, if you don't know Saint, they're that MLM that now isn't an MLM, that or ex-pyramid scheme. Their makeup is horrible. And they often do videos like this where it's like, do it this way and this way, using some really gimmicky, strange ways. First of all, let's stop using 35 as the benchmarks for how you should be changing your makeup. I am 35. If I was my own client, I wouldn't look at my face and be like, oh, mature, let's change it up a little bit. I would still do my normal makeup routine. And that's the same for a lot of 35s. Even on this individual in this video, I wouldn't look at her skin and be like, mature, you know what I mean? Yes, people's skin changes and things like that, but it doesn't need to be this drastic. A 35-year-old with typical 35-year-old skin can also do their makeup, their concealer, the way this person did on the other side. All in all, she kind of applied the same amount of concealer, just in different steps. It doesn't matter how you apply it, it's all going to end up underneath that eye if you're just going to blend it all out after everything. She also didn't blend in the 20s side properly. If you are 35 plus, please don't, and I said I did a whole video on this, please don't think that you have to change everything up now just because you are 35. If you are experiencing changes, then yes, please do. But it doesn't mean you're automatically in a different lane of makeup. You know what I mean? Point of view, you're on FaceTime with your bestie and she's doing her mascara like this. So like holding something at the back of the lashes and then putting on like all the mascara. So he's gonna try it. That's a lot. That is a lot of mascara. Like for the paper to be that dark, that painted with mascara. Alright. God, you're gonna catch flies. I'm not going to subject you to watching part 2. I'll just put it up on the screen here because here's part 2. He plays the whole thing again and takes it off. This is, like, there's tools that do this, right? There's mascara tools that stop you from getting mascara on your eyelid. This is kind of a waste of mascara. I'll tell you why. Because unless you buy a really cheap one and want to do this, the effects of mascara don't tend to be how much you're putting on. Just because you're putting on loads and loads of mascara, it doesn't mean it's going to be better. They might look initially longer and thicker and fuller, but what's that formula like? Is it going to crumble? Is it going to be all weird and textured? The benefits of your mascara come from the brush and the formula, right? And how the brush works with your lashes, the way you comb it through. That's why all the brushes are different kinds, different shapes, right? Different depth. How much you put on doesn't mean it's not a case of the more the better. And actually in a lot of cases it's like get it right, otherwise it's going to go really bad. So this hack isn't the best, I'll be honest with you. Yes, it's kind of like less messy when you put in mascara, but that's just, there's no point, basically. Okay, concealer hack for no creasing. Concealer's gonna crease. Here's what people tend to forget, right, when they're mixing their products together. There's no reason why this would prevent creasing. Again, no one has invented makeup that stops the skin from creasing or moving. Makeup doesn't pull tight on your skin. It's like, don't crease, don't crease, don't crease. If your skin creases, it's gonna crease. When you mix two products together, you are changing their composition and you are changing what they do, what they have been tested to do by themselves. Powder will set, it will massify by itself. When you mix it in with a cream or a liquid, you no longer have that kind of that benefit from the powder. It's just going to become like a paste and then dry down horrible. So you're not stopping your makeup from creasing because you've mixed it in with a product that supposedly helps stop creasing. You know what I mean? It's like throwing an ice cube in a fire pit hoping to cool down the fire. You've just made it not useful. You know what I mean? I'm going to say this all the time with under eye creasing. You can, one of my eyelashes thought it was coming off. This one, of course it's this one. You can stop how quickly your under eye concealer creases, but you're never going to stop it from creasing if it creases. Your face moves, your skin moves. So unless something is created that stops your skin from moving and being skin, it's going to exist. It's going to happen. You need to think about how you're going to repair the creasing, not prevent. POV, you get a foundation facial so your summer can be spent makeup free. Oh no. And this is this when they like needle makeup into your skin? Or is it a kind of ink? Maybe someone who knows more about this can explain this to me, because to me, it looks like they're kind of like micro needling foundation into the skin to even it out. That to me is wrong. That to me is, makeup isn't made to be lower than the surface of the skin, right? We know we shouldn't be wearing it for super long periods of time. We have to remove it at some point, preferably before we sleep. So this isn't, to me, something I look at. I'm like, wow, revolutionary. That's something I look at and think, oh, you probably shouldn't be doing that. Unless it's a special kind of foundation. I don't know. I don't know much about this, to be honest with you. But not that. It wouldn't be me doing that. I couldn't do that. If it was like a tattoo, I don't know. I don't even know, because even then, your skin will all like, I don't know, because even then your skin will scab up and it wouldn't be great. We need to stop with a permanent makeup situation or like semi-permanent makeup situation. You know what I mean? It's just, it shouldn't, I don't mean like brow, what's it called? Microblading. That's nice. That's fine. I mean like tattooed liner, tattooed lip liner needs to stop. Tattooing it into your face, microneedling it into your face needs to stop. 100 years of lipstick. I'm gonna bet 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s are wrong. Let's go. So powder for some reason. Oh, terrible. 1920s, not really. 1930s, not really. 1940s, not really. 1950s, again, not really. 1960s, fine. 70s, okay. Could be a little bit pink, a little bit peachier. 80s, sure. Why? Everyone was doing everything in the 80s, right? 90s, yeah. Could be colder. 2000s, yeah. Could be matter. 2010s, sure, why not? Whatever that is. 2024 accurate. Here's what people always forget, and if you've been with me for a long time, you will know this. When people do this 1920s lip, they do this very like, I don't know what this, they kind of just put it in the middle of a mouth like they've been sucking on like a lid for something. It was a bit more shapely than that. It kind of went down and it did come out to the corners here, just very thin and in the lip and pulled out. So it was that middle pout, but it wasn't a circle in the middle of your mouth. Also, the 1950s 30s, 40s, and 50s, the lip shapes were all completely different. Like now, how the typical thing, we have this overlined lip shape, the Cupid's bow on the lips in those time periods were very different. The colors are technically kind of accurate, but also not 100% accurate. But the lip line was a huge difference. I hate it when people are like, it's the 50s, and they just shove on a red lipstick. It's like, yeah, but it was a certain kind of red, and if a lip shape was a certain kind of lip shape, you know what I mean? Don't get Botox, just put your longest lash length on the highest point of your eye. Yeah, this is kind of correct. Let's just say first of all, though, Botox has kind of nothing really to do with this. Yes, it will lift your eyes, but Botox is more wrinkles and a little bit of lift. So you're not going to put on lashes and suddenly your forehead's going to be smooth. You know what I mean? This is kind of correct. However, it doesn't have to be the longest part of your lash on the highest point of your eye. The issue we have with both these eyes in this instance is the lash dips below the end of the bottom waterline here. So ideally you want to imagine an invisible line and have the end of a lash there. For example, my lashes now in that theory are incorrect. They dip below my where my bottom lash line ends. If they were up like this, can you see? Quickly before I go back down, it will give a bit more of a lift compared to this side, which is dipping below. It gives this kind of shape, which I don't mind on me personally. Yes, whereas where they have done it here, can you see? It's above this line. You can follow this line and no lashes, or the bulk of the lashes doesn't dip below it. That's what a lot of people do with their lashes and their lash extensions. They kind of get this shape like this, and it makes their eyes look a little bit turned down and strange. Simple one product look. Oh no. Is that? Okay. That line is going to do absolutely nothing. Well, that's a strange look. Here's the deal. Something that thin, right? Sure, use it, but give yourself a little bit more space to fill in, because you're going to be constantly buffing and buffing to try and make it not look like a line. Whereas if you, especially with a pencil like that, if it was a bit creamier, fine. A few things. That line there is going to make you look incredibly tired, really tired. That should maybe go from your nose up to your corner of your brow here. You're literally drawing on like theatrical tired makeup there. Through the socket, fine. This line is going to do absolutely nothing. If you're trying to define the jawline, although he already has a very defined jawline, he could just literally do like here and fill in this area here. That's going to do nothing. And then this bit here, again, he's just drawing on that shape. This is great on a guy. Remember we looked at this on another, it was like, I think it was like Bella Hadid cheekbones. And I was like, oh no, don't do that, because you're going to look like you have a 5 o'clock shadow and your face is going to look masculine. So if you want to masculinize your face, and do that. But again, that thin line isn't going to give you that result. That's lighting also. I don't mean to be rude. He looks unwell. This area here is typically, I'm sorry, he looks so gaunt. He doesn't look well. Like, look at the beginning how bright this eye area is, and then you go to this and it looks like, what are you recovering from? Like, it doesn't look, his sunken his eye, his sunken his whole face. This is why you have to be so careful with placement, because everyone else's placement isn't yours. He looks unwell. You don't have to enhance things that already exist. You don't have to add things that don't exist if it doesn't suit your face. Me, red lipstick doesn't suit me. Marilyn Monroe is wearing red lipstick all the time. I don't get what she's saying. Here's the deal. I will never believe you if you tell me red lipstick doesn't suit you. I will never believe you, because red isn't just one color. There are loads and loads and loads and loads of different tones and depths and hues of red, right? So why Marilyn Monroe looks so great in her red is because it was this bluey, Hollywood red, right? It went well with her blonde hair. It went well with her image at the time. There are many different reds. You will suit the color red at some point. It can be a blue red, an orange red. It can be that kind of pinky red, right? You can have reds that are more like this, like a peppery red or like a chili powder red that look incredible. They're still red. Still, it's like an orangey brownie red, but it's still a tone of red. There is a red tone for everyone. Factually, scientifically, red will suit you if we're thinking about color theory. I will not believe you. I will not take that as a fact. I'm trying not to laugh because of that poor girl. This is why it is so important for your foundation to match, right? Because yes, she's green. She's verging on olive because the person has used the incorrect foundation shade for her undertone, for her in general, and trying to put a tone like this on top of a lighter skin tone, you're gonna was this end bit a bit harsh, but let's be real, the colors aren't actually that far off. If we pick the colors, right? It's really not that far off. That's kind of mean, though. That is kind of mean. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you got something out of that video. If you ever see anything that's kind of questionable, as I said, please do send it over to me. Consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye.